just saw some of the responses to my survey and my interview that I gave to a couple of my colleagues and other educators that I know. And the results were actually better than I thought. So from the people that I was able to talk to, all of them use some form of technology in their classroom or whatever setting it is that they teach in. As I mentioned in my discussion and in my assignment itself, a lot of the educators that I surveyed were from different parts of education. So some of them are colleagues in Teach Now, some of them are teachers within a particular field as far as careers are concerned, and there are also educators who teach, middle school or high school, more of those educational roles that we're more familiar with. So the biggest things that I want to highlight that I found from my interviews are these responses here. So using technology in the classroom supports diverse learning styles. I agree with this, and within the conversation that I had with this individual, I highlighted how important it is to have that technology available in the event that the student doesn't grasp what it is that you're trying to say, or what it is that the book is trying to say, or whatever your resource or tool is that you're using at that time. I also talked about, how it is that we, stay on top of what it is that we're doing, and what it is that we are utilizing to make these learning experiences memorable as well as engaging. So this was actually interesting. This person is a professional in healthcare, and they said that they actually talk with their IT support teams in order to find out what technology is available in certain conference rooms, or what other technology is available for a presentation, or how to work different things. And I, never really thought past, I have an issue with my computer, let me talk to my IT person. So needless to say, that's an awesome suggestion for even teachers, because yes, sometimes we have like a computer or an IT team, or maybe it's one person that's shared, but you never know what information they have access to if you just don't ask. So I thought that was really interesting. We also talked about incorporating technology more for adults, because although yes, they're adults and they're supposed to pay attention, or they should know how to pay attention, it's also about keeping them engaged so that they actually absorb and master skills or whatever it is that you're trying to teach them. So and it also gives them the opportunity to learn how to use technology. Some adults, whether you know it or not, are not exposed, or were not exposed as students themselves. So giving them the opportunity to work with those different things can also give them skills outside of whatever your objective or your lesson is based off of. So that was a great conversation that we had as well. There was also a tool, again, this was used with a person who's more of a career-based educator, and they use computer-based trainings to, I guess you can say, survey or validate mastery. I guess in a way it's kind of like our assessments, or that's another way that we could formatively assess the students and their knowledge. So it actually, the program that they use, it gives the answers right back to the students if they get it wrong, and it actually gives an explanation why. So I think that that's a positive tool to use for students, because sometimes you're like, wait, I really thought it was that answer, and we know that that's not always the case, but giving them that immediate feedback allows them to kind of clock in wherever they are or wherever that mistake was, and hopefully leave an impression so that they can have a better understanding moving forward, as well as when they take that computer-based training or assessment again. I think that's also a positive thing for educators, because I know we don't have a lot of time like in class to sit there and just go over an assessment right away, because we have another class coming in, or if we're a self-contained class, you have to move on to that next subject. But allowing students to have maybe even these informal formative assessments and giving them that immediate feedback consistently will help them, and using the technology is a sure way to do so. Those Kahoots, those starfall.coms, as I mentioned in my discussion today, ABC, yeah, like you get coins or you don't get coins. It doesn't necessarily say why, but you do know that you got it wrong or that you need to keep trying. So I think putting it in that frame allows students to stay engaged, as well as think that they're having fun while they are learning, and learning from their mistakes as well if they're not necessarily grasping that or winning the game right away. The other thing that I wanted to add is just that we as educators kind of need a checklist. And this is an informal checklist, and I know it's part of our rubric, but I think that this will actually help to improve my own formation of lessons. So I said that I think that you should have at least one form of technology in each stage of your lesson. So as far as your introduction of the lesson, the practice part of your lesson where students are, whether they're in centers or whether they're doing an individual assignment or activity, when you're reteaching your lesson, if you notice that they have or have not mastered it, I think that it's important to still allow them to utilize that technology for differentiation purposes, as well as just those learning differences that come up. And also for student presentation, like if you're doing a PBL, like why not let the students use technology to represent themselves in their learning. The next part of the checklist that I think is important is that we survey the student engagement using certain tools, because we have to keep in mind that students are going to learn better with things that they like and things that they enjoy. And lastly, to just be open to try new things. I know that we don't have all the answers and we don't know how to use every single program or technological tool, but like I said, reach out to those IT people, reach out to your colleagues. I told my colleagues today, if I find out something, I'm going to shoot you a link, even if it's through email, because we're worlds away. And with that, I'm going to leave you on this note. I was searching for integrating technology into the classroom, and I stumbled upon this website called nearpod.com. You can use this to actually submit a lesson plan that you already have, or you can search for different ideas and purchase them from other educators or teachers, and it helps to show you how to integrate technology, presentations, different tools, games, etc. So it's like a Teachers Pay Teachers, but a more technological aspect. So again, that's nearpod.com. You can sign up, it's free, which is always a bonus. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. My email is laurenrowe58@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.